Life Audio.
Today on Talk About That, John celebrates the contentious history of the ice cream cone and never goes anywhere without his emergency jacket. Meanwhile, I hurt myself on a Ninja Warrior course and tell you about the time England taxed windows. Plus a conversation about how a good church service is like a good pair of shoes and a good referee. Today's episode is not sponsored by voicemails, when you could have just texted the person but you want your message to be ignored. But first, a word from our actual sponsor.
We're back for another exciting episode, insightful, educational episode of Talk About That. I'm building it up, Johnny. It better be good.
We always used to say we're not an educational podcast, but we do have more and more, it feels like. We try to bring some...
I think we dabble in misinformation, but for fun. People are doing it out there right now for nefarious reasons.
Right. They're insidious.
Yeah. They're
not us.
No.
We're accidentally insidious.
Yeah.
Which is that'd be a great quote for the website.
The accidentally insidious. I mean, misinformation is a strong word. It's just, we're right to the edge of accuracy. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But you can always make something more accurate.
If you're watching this video, by the way, I feel like both of our knees are showing. We have bare legs. We have shorts on.
Yeah. Well, it is 102
Our legs
outside.
are in the shots. I don't love my legs. And the other thing is I have skint up knees. So I was on tour with Nate Bergazzi, and it's interesting being out with him because he's just a ball of energy. You would think like, okay, he's going to do his show, and then he'll be like exhausted. But he'll be like, let's go do something. And you're like, and you go because you're like, yeah, it's a bunch of comedians. Like, that's the dream. Like, I think it's what people think comedy is at its highest level is comedians hanging out, making jokes with each other all the time.
Yeah.
And just doing whatever they want and being in control of their own life. And it's very rarely that.
Yeah.
But at the highest level, I will say, it's pretty cool. So anyway, he dragged us to this play. He invited us.
He
push-pulled, dragged us. And this place in Charleston opened up for us for a couple hours. And I think they were closed, but they stayed open for 2 hours for just us. And it's one of these like Ninja Warrior course things. And so, it was a bunch of comics and some of Nate's crew. We go over there and we're just running around and they're like 12-year-olds. And guess what, John? We're not.
Were you having to like hang from things?
You're hanging. It's insane. There's a thing where you hit the timer and you start and you're going, and this identical courses, you're trying to get to the end as quick as the other person. And then there's like a slide that goes straight down. You're on a mat. You go straight down, then it goes bloop, like a ski lift, or like a ski jump rather, a ski lift. It goes like a ski jump.
You get on a ski lift.
You get on a ski lift. I couldn't believe it either. And it ski jumps you, and then you land on like one of these the air crash pad things. And so... And then we're throwing dodgeballs at each other's head as they come off
at the end.
We had a warped wall.
Did you get up?
I got up.
Well, you're tall,
but I think that's what happened. So that's why I say my knee.
Yeah,
my knee got so skint up because it's like sandpaper, that warped wall. So as I was grabbing up, I think I just and But anyway, what's funny is I thought I'm like the one guy that skint my knees up, and the next day I was looking around. Everybody's knees had the same red blotches.
Yeah.
We were all worn out. So I felt a little bit, but now it's all scabby. So I apologize. If you're watching, by the way, where would you watch the show, John?
You go to talkaboutthatpodcast.com.
Subscribe to the YouTube. We need new subscribers. If you want to be a patron of the show, we love our patrons. Go to be a Patreon subscriber, be a Patreon supporter, and you can get ad-free content that way. Upper right hand of the website, that homepage, you can click on that link, get ad-free content. And if you want to send us a note, just type an email to hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com. And we love hearing from you. But anyway, so I apologize for my scabby knees. Hopefully they'll be gone. I'm leaving tomorrow for a cruise to Alaska, which is why we're recording this in advance. But I won't be wearing shorts on that one because it's kind of a chilly.
It's chilly up there right now?
It's like 40s and 50s.
Really?
On the boat. Yeah.
Are they?
It's like 50, high. I think the high in Juneau was going to be like 60 maybe.
Wow.
And it's rainy. So,
Johnny, this is July-o. I don't know why you said
Juneau.
That's
do you know what I'm
I didn't
talking about?
I don't think I realized it would be that cool up there.
Last time we went was 2015, and yeah, we were surprised how underdressed we felt. Like we'd brought hoodies and stuff, but we were like, oh boy. And they were selling like winter parkas that said Holland America on them for like $200.
Yeah.
They're like, these guys are taking advantage of the situation because a lot of people just go, oh,
it's a cruise.
It's July.
Yeah.
And then they go, oh, July's different here. And so some of these because there are a lot of older people on Holland America ships.
Yeah.
And so
what is that supposed to mean?
Well, it just means they're constantly freezing. But now I'm that guy because I lost all the weight. So it's like, well, not all of it, but I lost enough of it that my body composition is just different. Curry takes an emergency. Does Laura take an emergency jacket into restaurants? Have you ever done it? You do. That's right.
I wore it in today to the restaurant.
You're the cold-blooded person.
Yeah, it's not her, it's me.
Yeah, Curry always talks about like, I forgot my emergency jacket.
No, yeah, I don't go. That was a funny part on Nate's.
Where are their jackets? When I see these young people, they have no jackets, and I think, where are their jackets?
No, I carry a pullover everywhere because here's the thing: we're not going to eat outside.
Yeah,
usually,
right.
So,
and you don't have control of the air conditioning. They could just blare it and just.
The hotter it is outside,
do you blare?
Johnny,
you don't blare. Blair's audio. You blast.
You just turn it on. Like the hotter it is outside, the colder it can be inside, Johnny. And isn't that?
It is. It's just like our lives.
I mean,
Ed Wiley had a great tweet the other day, and I think it was on his Threads account too. It went pretty viral, and he was talking about like he's been married 30 years, and he goes, I realize we communicate pretty well, but we still don't know what it means when one of us says, turn the air conditioning up.
Yeah, or down.
Yeah, nobody knows.
Turn the air down.
Okay, what do you want, though?
Yeah, my mom said that the other night. Can you turn the air down? And I was like, do you want it hotter or colder? Because if I turn the air down, it's going to be hotter.
Well, to that person, you might think turn it down means get it cooler.
But if I turn the temperature down, see, that's really what you're asking.
Yeah.
Can you turn the temperature down? But we don't say that.
Instead of just being like, I'm hot, fix it. That's what we need to say. I'm hot, do something.
Yeah.
But anyway, Ed Wiley, not a
friend,
not a sponsor, just a friend.
Yeah,
and that's okay. It's okay to
you
have
don't
friends.
have to be a sponsor to be our friend.
You don't.
It helps
if you want a special treat.
Better friends with the sponsors. Just kidding.
It's true, but yeah, so I've got a great story. First of all, I got a couple. I did a show I had my show at Zany's, which was a lot of fun. And if you came to that, great. And if you didn't come, you're not my friend anymore, John. You probably had volleyball, didn't you?
Yeah.
Yeah. Did a show at the lab, Johnny and friends.
Oh.
And you're still not going to get your Type 5 ready? Dude, you could have been on that.
You'll have to coach.
It was a pretty stacked show.
Oh, you don't think? Oh, you're saying I couldn't have done it?
No, I mean it was too many. Not too many, but it was the most comics you wanted to have on there without people being like, "Well, Johnny, you barely did time on your own show."
Yeah.
There's like a limit. But it was pretty great, and we had some out-of-towners come through, some friends, and then my buddy Dan Whitehurst did a set, who I've talked about on the show before. He's such a great storyteller, and I think he's done a show here at the church before, maybe. He's fantastic, and it was a good show. And one more of those coming up, by the way. Go to JonnieW.com.
Is it the last one? Because it was a summer series, right?
Summer series, and then we may extend it into the fall. Because it's been so great to like work on the new stuff. But August 28th is the one right now that we have on the calendar that might be the last one. It's Zany's for a minute. So if you want to come to one of those, it's a very intimate room. It's only 100 seats. So.
No, it's great. I have been there.
You've been to the lab.
For those who say
John's
that I'm not a good friend.
I don't mean it in a bad way. John's very supportive. Okay, so I had that show Tuesday. Then last night I was in Crossville, so I go there, and I'm into it. And it's cool. It's like
this is Crossville, Tennessee.
Crossville, Tennessee. It's like a church leadership conference, and they're a movie theater church. You know what I'm saying? These churches that sometimes like they do pop-up church in a movie theater. Well, they ended up just buying the movie theater. Like the movie theater, because the movie theaters were struggling, I guess, during the pandemic. And they're like, we'll just take it over.
Wow.
So they bought it, and so now they've converted all the different like movie houses into their seating. So like different houses within the movie theater.
See, I would think of the big building as the house, and those are separate theaters.
And in my father's house,
there are many
theaters. If it were not true, I would have told you. Now stay tuned for these feature presentations. No, so like the kids ministries in one, and then it's really interesting the way they got it laid out. And it's got your stadium seating built in, and then down there where the screen is, you got like a stage area.
Yeah.
So it's actually pretty cool. But I was there, and I'd been there the year before, but this was way bigger because they had multiple churches there. And I'm just getting into it, and I was trying to do some stuff that was a little bit different than what I did last year. But I did mention that because I was getting into my snoring bit, and I said, I'm a snorer. Is anybody married to a snorer? And this person raised their hand in the front row, and they'd been laughing. About 10, 15 minutes in, they were really like actively laughing at the show. So I was like, all right, I'll pick on them a little bit. And I go, so are y'all in the same room or separate rooms? I can't remember. I said, do you both snore? Because they both raised their hand. I go, are both of you snorers? And then without prompting, he goes, she unplugs my CPAP.
Oh, wow.
And I go, and I repeated it because that's what you do if somebody gives you a line like that. So you want to make sure everybody heard it. And then plus it gives you an extra beat to kind of think about what you want to say. And I said, she unplugs your CPAP. And then people are losing it. Mm-hmm. And then I go, that's kind of funny and also kind of attempted murder. Like, it's kind of, you knucklehead.
Can't breathe.
Let me tell you what Sweetie Pie did to me. And I stayed on it for a minute or two, but it was just so, and they were rolling, of course. Wow. I was like, she's trying to, you got to get out of there, dude.
Yeah, run. This is a cry for help.
It was something else, but it was such a fun show. And then I've got a special story from that show.
I thought that was the special story.
I've got another one though from that show that I want to tell. But first, John, this is called a tease in radio.
Oh, sorry. Yeah.
But first, a word from some of our fine sponsors.
And we're back. All right, good story.
Okay, so some of these pastors from these other church plants, from this church that were there at this leadership conference in Crossville, Tennessee yesterday, right? They all had this side meeting. We're in like one of the pastor's offices. He's letting us hang out there, but then he comes back and there's all these gift bags, canvas gift bags. And sometimes I'll do an event at a church and they'll be like, just take one of these. And it'll be like, there'll be a mug and a whatever and a candle and a thing. And it has their or a shirt with their logo on it.
A bumper sticker.
And I keep all that stuff. I like it. I like when churches do that.
Keychain.
Ballpoint pen.
Kazoo.
Guitar. That's weird.
Put a guitar in there.
Bundle of cash.
Whatever.
So I'm like looking around. I was like, well, we didn't get a gift bag, but they're everywhere. And I noticed, okay, well, I bet you these pastors from these other churches, they've met in this room to kind of do some kind of strategy meeting, and they're coming back in here, and they've just left their bags in here. So we're in back there getting ready and just kind of chilling out like it's our green room. But then they come back after like one of the breakout sessions, because I was the last thing of the day, and I was a surprise. And they go, hey, can we meet in here? The senior pastor says, hey, can we meet in here? Do y'all guys care to go in the other green room? I go, sure. So we go in there.
Somebody's getting fired.
Curry realizes after we get in there, she's got the iPad for our square checkout for our merch table in our little cash bag. And she goes, I don't know what happened to the phone. Because we have a phone that's just like, we use it as a camera phone. It's an iPhone 14, but we just use it as a camera.
Can't hide money.
It is.
Sorry.
It used to be my phone for real, but I don't like big phones. We could talk about that. But like, I'm a one-hand texter, and you can't reach that top corner with your thumb. Anyway, so I'm a small phone guy. I'm on the iPhone 12 mini, which is getting ready to be discontinued. I have a 12 mini, and that's what I use in my everyday life. So until they stop.
He's like rubbing sticks together.
Until they stop supporting that phone, which is very soon. So we have this 14, and we just carry around, and we use it to take pictures. It's got a good camera. And so Curry goes, it's gone. And so I go, and I'm mad at her. I'm like, Curry, I don't ask a lot of you. Just keep up with the stuff. Like, what are you doing? Because she takes pictures during the shows and stuff. And I go, and I'm kind of blaming her. And she goes, I'm telling you, it was on the arm of that couch. And I go, well, nobody would steal an I said, these are people here for a leadership conference at a church. It's just around here. We're digging through couch cushions. When they clear that room, we couldn't find it anywhere. And then finally we go, we got to tell the church. Like
that's what Paul said.
We're getting ready to leave. That's right. First you go to the couch,
right,
and then you bring it.
Then you bring along another couch, and then you tell the church.
Bring 2 cushions with you, and you go before the elders. So that's what we did. And so, like, I was kind of half embarrassed. Like, we've lost our phone. They go, your phone? And I go, well, it's a phone we just used as a camera.
Well, they all have iPhones. One of them has it.
Right. And so I go, somebody's got it. Somebody's got it. They go, it's in a sleeve. I kept saying, it's in a neoprene sleeve. They go, I don't know what neoprene is. I go, it's like a scuba's, like a spandex,
like a sheepskin.
I'm not trying to describe. And I go, never. It's in a sleeve. It's in a zip up thing.
A bag.
It's in a bag. So they go, okay. And so we're kind of half embarrassed, but we're just doing it. And the show went really well. And now we're getting ready to leave. And I'm doing the Find My, and I go, it's still in the building, but you can't really trace it.
And it's not making noise?
No, because it's not on a cell signal. It's not got a SIM card in it. And
it'll do Find My, but it won't do.
It'll do Find My and send you a pulse, but it won't like make a thing until somebody's on, because it has to be on Wi-Fi.
I hope this story tells a pulse. Okay, sorry.
John's very sick. Pray for John. But anyway, so I go, I don't know what happened. And so then I go, let's just go. So where I go, they go, well,
You're just going to leave it.
They go, we'll find it and then we'll mail it to you. I go, okay. And so we leave and we go down the road. Well, we're near Buc-ee's. So I go, we got to stop at Buc-ee's. It's a rule here in Crossville.
And you checked again.
I checked again. It's now 2.5 miles down the road.
It's now getting a barbecue sandwich.
So I start formulating a plan of like, I will bet you. We started trying to think like, what happened? And I said, Curry, that was on the arm of that couch. I bet you somebody sat down and bumped it into one of those gift bags. And then now one of those pastors is on his way back to his church plant. And either is going to think, they gave me an iPhone. Or he just hasn't looked in the gift bag yet and doesn't know.
Dude, this is just like Joseph and the brothers in Egypt.
That's what I was going to say.
Yeah, you stuck the gold in the top of the gift bag.
Mm-hmm.
In this case, it was a phone, and now you got to send the Egyptians after him to.
So we're watching it get further and further away from us. We're going to Lebanon. They're going back towards Maryville.
Guys, and sometimes you can just feel.
And so I ended up having to call the guy, the pastor, and be like, hey, I don't know. I think I know what happened. I said, there's no way somebody stole the phone. I said,
which one of your people are going to.
Yeah, I said, I can show you where this is pinging from. Funny. And he goes, oh, I think I know who it is.
Where it's old Jed.
Seriously. And he called the guy, and the guy goes, and the guy pulled over. He was almost home, and he pulled over, and they dug into the thing, and they go, I can't believe it, but we have it. And we don't know how we have it.
Wow.
And so the guy goes, oh, typical Jason, or whatever his name. I think his name's Brandon. Typical Brandon, stealing phones. And so it's just funny because he's just doing this like pop-up church at a middle school somewhere. It's like he's a church planner. You know, it's just like, of course, you know.
He just wants to live his life.
He's just trying to live his life.
And you go throwing phones into his bags.
It sounds like something I would do as a prank. Like these comedians, they'll just... There was like these guys named Tripp and Tyler who used to be in the church market, and they would do like sketch comedy. And they were friends with John Acuff, who's like a pretty popular influencer in the Christian world. And in the corporate world, he's a great author. And John, do you know any great authors? Anyway.
I don't.
He's written how many books compared to you? You've written more than John. I will say that. You've written way more than John Acuff. If you add cumulative words. Okay.
Well, yeah.
But, anyway, John.
But more people have.
John was friends with these guys, Tripp and Tyler, and he posted one day that he was having to tell them to stop doing what they're doing, which is whenever they would like mail him something like merch or something, be like, "Hey, we got this new thing." They would also throw in it like old technology. It was like a thing they would just do as a gag, like an old Nokia 5150 phone that was just in a junk drawer somewhere. Nice. So he got like a BlackBerry from them one day that's like, it's just like, you know, there's no SIM card in it. It's not it's just wiped. It's just like, stop doing this. He had to like put out a thing. I think that's such a funny prank to do to somebody because everybody has like old junk, like a 2.0 megapixel camera that you bought and you thought it was great when you had it. But now it's like, what am I going to do with a 2 megapixel camera? Well, you mail it to a friend.
That's right.
You'd be like, now it's your problem.
That's a great idea. I kind of did that when I cleaned out my office. Andrew the other day goes, it was 3 months ago, but I knew that this would be a long play prank. So I stowed things from in here throughout the whole building. Many of them in places where I knew he would go. Yeah. Like I put
like a little Easter egg hunt just for him.
I put things in his desk drawers. He doesn't even know I put other things in places he won't find, but they're in his space.
That's
so
wonderful.
It's stored. But yeah, he was like, "What are you doing? I found all this stuff." I was like, "Oh, did you? Took you long enough?" Kind of thing.
Got him.
He almost threw away because I stowed all of my, like I had those big frames on the wall, like my diplomas and other things. I don't know.
Big diploma.
Huge diplomas.
It's like one of those checks that you get from a game show.
Yeah. When I graduated, they were like, wow, we're going to have to really...
It's a 2-man lift for this diploma.
If I remember correctly, there was a whole ceremony.
Like 3 guys had to hand it to you.
My goodness. But I put them in this bin because I'm not sure yet, because my walls are still pretty empty for the moment.
Yeah.
And
your heart.
Is my heart, yeah. And so I put them behind those stand-up walls in the back there. Mm-hmm. He almost threw them away. It's like, I thought they were trash. It's like, they were my diplomas. I was like, I'm just putting them there to figure this out.
That's just the jealousy you can expect from a senior pastor.
He's like, hey, what is this garbage? University of Tennessee? Yeah, who do you think he is?
Secular institution. You think you're better than me?
You elitist son of a gun. Yeah.
Sounds just like him.
Yeah.
Anyway, the end of the story.
That wasn't the end.
Is that we got a hold of the guy.
And you beat the ever-loving...
I said, if you ever touch my property again... No, he was so embarrassed, but he didn't know how. And I said, dude, I think I know what happened. It's fine. Anyway, his wife drove. They drove all the way to Lebanon from Maryville this morning to bring it back to me. Because I said, well, maybe
you're still in Crossville.
No. They were already home, and we were already home.
But where were they? Where was home for them?
Maryville. So the meeting was in Crossville, but
you would have had to go an hour and a half the opposite direction.
Yeah.
Couldn't they just mail it to you?
Yeah, but we needed it. I said, well, if you want it, they go, we'll get it to you tomorrow. And I said, normally I wouldn't care. I'd have my brother come get it from you. But we're going on a cruise, and we need that phone because we use it for a camera, and I'm going to film my sets from the back of the room. And he goes, oh, yeah. He goes, it's no problem at all. And I go, well, it's a problem. I said, I'm sorry, because it's a 3-hour, 5-hour round trip.
You could have met him halfway.
I could have, and I offered. He was like, no, I insist. I said, when he kept insisting, I was like, this guy stole my phone. You know what I'm saying? It's one thing to be like, oh no, there's no way. And then after he kept saying like, no, we'll make it right. And I was like, make what right? What you did wrong?
Come on now.
Anyway, I want to take this opportunity to call him out. I think his name is Brandon McKenzie. Pastor Brandon McKenzie, if you're listening, how dare you, sir? First of all, how dare you? No, I'm sure he's a great guy, and it's great that he brought it back, and so because we thought it's gone, and if you don't have Find My iPhone on your devices, buddy, it saved us. It would have been gone. Like we would have had no way to know other than maybe he looks in his gift bag. Because sometimes people just set these gift bags down. They don't. Yeah, they just go, well, it's a gift bag. What is it? It's a bunch of trinkets. They never look at it.
Yeah.
My phone's in there. But
it reminds me of a story that I told before.
It's about the woman. Is this about the woman who swept until she found the coin? Oh, that's a parable.
That's another. Someone else told that story. His name was Jesus. We had a mutual friend when I got married who gave me like a marriage book.
Yeah.
And who reads books, as I have found as an author?
If you get a free book.
Not many people read free books.
Yeah.
Like I gave someone some free books last night of mine. Mm-hmm. I was just like, look, you're not going to read this, and that's okay. And this last one, just put it in your bathroom.
I think you say that so they'll take it as a challenge and go read it. Okay. Because they're like, I'll show you.
I did get a phone call. I did an interview the other day, and I'd given the guy a book, Mr. Haslam's book.
Okay.
And the gentleman was 94 who I was interviewing.
Right.
And he called me. I was in Charlotte at a volleyball thing. He called me, and he's like, I finished the book. We're big Tennessee fans, and we loved it. It was great. It was really kind of him.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah. It was great.
What's that book, John, if someone wanted to find it on Amazon?
It's called Co-Piloting.
By
Jim Haslam.
He's the founder of Pilot.
Yeah, founder of Pilot Corporation. Yeah. And
so it's a little play on.
Yeah,
did you come up with that title?
I did.
Did you really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at you.
Yeah, that was mine. Because his whole book is about others. So
yeah. He's
it's
just a co-pilot.
I came up with co-piloting. I came up with The Upset for Tyler Trent. I don't always do titles, but
remember
sometimes.
That thing remember that bumper sticker you'd say, God is my co-pilot or whatever? And you're like, shouldn't he be the pilot?
Couldn't he be you should be the co-pilot. Or maybe, I don't know, maybe you're in engineering. You're somewhere down at the bottom of the boat. Maybe you're in there shoveling coal into the...
I don't think you understand how piloting works.
I'm talking about piloting a boat.
Oh, I see.
Yeah. These coal-powered airplanes.
I'll tell you what. They're heavy.
At any rate, we got the book.
Yeah.
And like 3 years later, I was cleaning something out, and I don't know why I flipped through the book, and the guy had put like $100 bills in the book.
Wait, what book?
It was a marriage book. It was a gift. And so it was like, if you read it, you find the real gift. And if you don't, you don't. And guys.
I'm telling you what.
I don't think we have to have the rest of a show.
Now it makes me want to go, because you've given me books. Have you? Did you do
I never know. You know who that was?
Who was it?
It was Ron Soderbergh.
That's pretty great.
Yeah.
Love Ron Soderbergh.
Yeah.
He was a good dude.
He was. And
he told me one of my favorite jokes that I still tell all the time. Maybe I'll save it for a joke about that. I'll do it today.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Ron Soderbergh, great guy, because he sold farm equipment.
Yeah.
He would travel all across the country and he would sell farm equipment to like big farms, like subsidized farms. And I was like, what a weird job.
Yeah.
And but he was always like, it's an interesting, to me, because I just think of a job as like you go to a place and you work. I think he was the first person I met that traveled and sold like equipment to people.
I tell most people areas. Did it in the old days.
It's kind of what I do. I'm just a traveling salesman. I go and
selling garbage.
Yeah, I sell garbage to people, and they're still lapping it up.
Come on,
JonnieW.com.
Eat your garbage, guys. I think it's time for my segment. It's a little segment Johnny would like to call. They talked about that. We had Clive James last week. I'm going to go back to Clive Staples.
Clive Staples Lewis.
Yeah. One of the reasons is the quotes are always so easily verifiable. And I know a lot of you out there are inflamed right now.
He's one of those that's so famous, though, and has so many quotes that I almost think that anytime somebody says something deep about Christianity, you always want to go, that was probably C.S. Lewis. Like, he probably gets credit for things that Chesterton said, or,
George MacDonald.
Right, George MacDonald, or even you could go into, like, when you get into Tim Keller, because Tim Keller, became like a modern-day C.S. Lewis theologian guy, so... Kierkegaard.
I think I quote C.S. Lewis and Tim Keller in my message this week on Sunday.
Nice.
Which you could listen to if you wanted to.
I'm going to. I will be.
churchofpleasantgrove.com.
Oh, I'm saying I'll be listening because I have a cruise, but I'll be listening.
You won't be listening.
Well, I have Wi-Fi. I think I'll have Wi-Fi. It'll be patchy. Can I get it on the archive?
Yeah.
Okay.
It'll be up later that day or the next day, probably. So, I like this. He said, "A good shoe is a shoe you don't notice. Good reading becomes possible when you need not consciously think about eyes or light or print or spelling. The perfect church service will be one where we were almost unaware of. Perfect church service would be one we were almost unaware of. Our attention would have been on God." It's like this idea of, if you notice your shoe, something's probably wrong.
Right.
Right. And I think about it all the time, like all the things I don't notice until they're wrong.
Yeah.
I don't notice eyesight unless I get poked in the eye.
Right. Breathing.
Right. I don't notice until I can't breathe. But the idea of church, and I think it's so, fascinating to me. And I don't want to be the guy. I work in church and have my whole adult life. I mean, I became a pastor the day after I got married. Like, that was when my contract started there. And that's been 25 years. And so I think I'm in it. And I don't want to be one throwing rocks at it. I want to throw rocks from inside it. No.
Oh.
But I think you can do a lot more damage from inside the church than from outside, because usually the doors are locked. Anyway.
That's true.
But no, so I'm not being critical. And I know I've been to different size things in life, and I'm a small church guy, which would be an easy, like, I'm giving you all the reasons to not want to listen to me right up front. Well, that guy just thinks this and that about the church because he's whatever. But I mean, I think I'm coming to grips with and making peace with, like, what do we do as the church? Mm-hmm. Who are we being is more important than quantifiable results. And I wish I had a better way to say it that didn't just sound like you're trying to make excuses for a lack of whatever your numbers are.
Yeah. Well, and even the quote itself is like about a church service too. And it's like what our church services look like. It's hard to not wonder what the early church services looked like compared to today. Like, it almost feels like today is almost like there's like obviously there are people who are critical of like worship becoming more of a performance, and then but even the part of it where it's like one guy talks and everybody just sits and listens, it's not as interactive as maybe it feels almost like school or like a TED Talk. Yeah, and that's okay, and maybe that's fine, because you can't just have chaos where everybody just like feels like they can interject. So it's easy to be critical and then be like, I wish it was more interactive. And then you go to that church and you're like, holy moly, what a mess.
I know. Well, I think about, Paul preached for so long that Eutychus fell out the window.
Yeah.
And Eutychus too,
Eutychus
fell out the window.
Yeah.
But it's one of those though, and I talked to Sadie about this when we're talking about emotions, that you can look at a windshield or look through a windshield, right? Looking at a windshield is really kind of dangerous.
Yeah. Especially my windshield, because it's really dirty.
Well, but you're not paying attention then to the things on the other side, which is, you know, it's supposed to help you see better because you're not getting debris in your eye because the windshield's blocking it. Right. Who was it? Hold on. Who was it? Man, I'm not going to be able to think. It was a tweet, I think, and I've used it. I can't remember who the author was.
C.S. Lewis.
I don't think it was.
Oh.
He said that basically, I'm going to paraphrase, pastors or ministers are not here to be the go-between between you and God.
Mm-hmm. They're
here to make sure that nothing else is.
Right.
Right. They're here to span the distance so that you go straight to God. You don't even notice them. Right.
Right. That's good.
Yeah.
That's kind of the point of the quote too. That's kind of the point of the quote too. Like that, when you don't, like, if you're just in a room and you don't notice the thing. I think about it too, like a referee in a basketball game, like or a football game.
Mm-hmm.
Like if you notice the ref, they're going to have a meeting later about that.
Yeah.
They're going to probably be like, guys, it was too much about us today.
Yeah.
That got weird.
Yeah. No, and I think that's the whole thing. Like, what does it, and I think you're back to your question from the early church, from life. And I think about that a lot as we craft a service. Most of church, and C.S. Lewis would agree with this. He was Anglican. He was Church of England. You know, their whole thing was around the Eucharist.
Mm-hmm.
The whole point of worship, like a church service, the worship was not the music. The worship was the Eucharist.
Right.
Right. That it's the body and blood of Christ that we're remembering, that we're all partaking of a table together. Everything's
centered around that.
Everything's centered.
It's just a companion piece to it.
And to your point about sort of the TED Talk part, a lot of the churches, you know, the table is at the center, right? Or a cross or a table's at the center, and the speaker is, or whoever that may be, is off to the side.
Yeah.
As opposed to right now, often, you know, and I even like the elevated stage. The other day, I was leading worship. It was just me and an acoustic.
Yeah.
We're trying to do more things that are less, you know, programmed. And I was like, I want to be on the floor. I want people in a circle around or whatever, you know. And it was funny. He at the last second, Andy was like, well, that'd be great, but you're not tall enough, and we won't be able to see you on the camera, and they won't be able to see you. Like, we had to have all these logistical reasons that were legitimate about why
we need to be elevated and have a light on us. And then you could be the same thing. You'd be like, I don't need a microphone. That's almost like bullying because I'm saying my voice matters more. There's like, yeah, or it's just that they won't hear you if you don't have a microphone.
Exactly. No, I go to so many volleyball things where they're leading some clinic or whatever. I'm like, if they just had a little speaker with a mic, it'd be so much easier right now. And it's not because the girls aren't listening. It's because they can't hear you in this.
Yeah, I mean, there's a tendency. I think now, especially, we're in the age of deconstruction, and I think there's something, and I think there's some healthy stuff that needs to go by the wayside. But some of it's just like, yeah, we're going to err on the other way. We need to have a little bit of grace for people who are just trying to do their thing, man. Yeah. They're trying to reach people. You need microphones. It's okay. It's okay to have a microphone. It doesn't have to be a $12,000 microphone.
Okay. Now you're talking.
You know what I mean?
Yeah. By the way, I'm embarrassed because this is one of my friends. This is John Onwuchekwa who said this. He said, pastors aren't meant to stand between you and God. Pastors exist to make sure nothing else does.
That's great.
Yeah. So he said it much more concisely, which I know you're not surprised.
No. Not one bit. That's great, though. Good stuff.
Yeah.
From Clive Staples and John Onwuchekwa.
I hope this week, wherever you go to church, if you do, that maybe we become less aware, because this is something for, I think, the church member as much as it is the church leader, when I go somewhere, am I focused on the delivery? And I could blame them for making it flashy or using a microphone or the music sounding performative or whatever. Or I can decide what I'm showing up for.
If you go in with like the side eye already, you're setting yourself up. It's like going into a marriage that way of like, the minute something goes weird, I'm out of here. Like you got to put yourself into it a little bit, man. Yeah. I mean, you got to realize, and I think one of the most freeing parts of pastoring was whenever I realized I've been doing this every Sunday or Wednesday for my entire life, and I don't have to hit a home run. Like the gospel, the kingdom of God is not hinging on a perfect performance, and people act like it does. Well, you know what? I was going to that church, and then the preaching just got kind of stale. And I'm not saying, like, I get it to some extent, but I go, how deeply connected to people in that church are you? Who are you serving? Whose life, and this is a question I ask the community leaders a lot to talk to their groups about, like, if you did stop coming for 6 weeks, would anyone notice because anyone's life, and not just to church, but in that 6-week period with people, did anything change for anybody else because you weren't around? Because if that's what you're waiting, people will do that. I was gone for 3 weeks. Yeah, no one called me. Yeah. You're like, we didn't even notice you were gone because you're so disconnected from actual people. And by we, I mean the church, because the church staff noticing, what does that even mean? Like, for what purpose? So I think this is about you, and I think you know why I've called you here.
I'm just kidding, Johnny. I know you feel bad about that.
Get those tickets.
It's okay that you travel for a living selling farm equipment.
JonnieW.com. So. Speaking of farm equipment, John, let's get into Johnny's old jokes. We call it Joke About That. From our old pal Ron Soderbergh, a great street joke that I've never heard anybody else tell, honestly.
Maybe it was his.
I don't think it was his. I think it's just one of these jokes that like farmers tell each other.
Okay.
And I remember it tickled me so much, and I've told it to anybody that I know that I ever meet that's like in farm country. I go, oh, I got the best joke. And it always makes people laugh. Or they'll be like, yep. I'll get a great yep from them. Okay. So here's how the joke goes. Guy goes into the farmer's co-op, and he's checking out. He's buying his seed or whatever. And then he gets to the checkout, and he looks over. There's a whiskey barrel over to the side that's half full of hammer handles and axe handles right by the register, like an impulse buy.
Okay.
They're $1 each. He goes, these are $1 each? And the cashier says, yeah. He goes, I'll take the whole thing. So he just takes them all.
Wow.
The next week he comes back, the barrel's full again, hammer handles, axe handles. And he goes, hey, I'll take all of them again. She goes, can I ask you, what are you doing with these? He goes, well, I buy these from you, and then I go sell them at the flea market for 50 cents. She goes, you're losing 50 cents on every one you sell. He goes, yeah, but it beats farming.
Yep.
That's one of those yep jokes if you're a farmer.
Wow.
Anyway, it almost could be, there's a lot of, like, I think, jobs. There's a lot of occupations that could use that. You could almost say, yep, beat stand-up comedy.
Yeah, but like farming in the historical side of America being the backbone of so many things, and then through industrialization going through such a hard time to the point that you have to subsidize in order to make a profit.
Or unless you're a big government-subsidized farm, you don't. Only the big farms have.
There's a lot there, and farmers get mistreated a lot.
So it's one of those, like, there's a little pain behind the punchline.
Yeah, there is. There's something there.
Yeah. So that's why you get the yep, and you go, It's like an amen.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
John, a few jokes this week from a comedy great, Mr. Rodney Dangerfield.
Okay.
Are you aware of Rodney Dangerfield? What do you know about Rodney Dangerfield?
I know I get an email every day with a Rodney Dangerfield quote.
No, you don't.
I do.
Wait, hold on. You're in a Rodney Dangerfield quote?
One of my quote things, because believe it or not, guys, I do some research. I know a lot of you are upset with me.
Yeah.
That's not true, but it's called...
have you ever seen like a live performance of Rodney Dangerfield?
I've seen movies. No, it's called the funny quote of the day, and I started realizing they're all Rodney Dangerfield. So for whatever reason, this particular RSS feed only brings those.
Let me tell you, just as an artist, okay, so Rodney Dangerfield's an inspiration in several ways. One, as somebody who started comedy a little bit late in life, I was 33 when I started doing stand-up. Rodney Dangerfield did not get famous doing stand-up until he was 45.
Wow.
And had already done, he had a successful career as whatever. I don't want to say he was a salesman of some kind, but he was basically just like, he fell into stand-up and then like became one of the best ever to do it. The other inspirational thing about him as a writer is that comedy, whereas your thing is all about like, how do I get the most words? How do I expound on this? How do I take this 5 sentences that a guy gave me and make it into 5 pages? Whereas comedy's like, I got to get to the next joke. I need to fit 60 jokes into this set. And so it can't be any extra words. So Rodney's, what I've heard from more than one comic is his style was he would go to the club every night and do sets, and he would basically, if he knew it got a laugh, then he would start taking away a word every night until it got no laugh. And then he would go back a day, and that would be where the joke landed. He would go back a day where it was the least amount of words, where it got the same loudness of laugh. And that was in the entirety of his writing style. So he's known for like a one-liner. He's also known as the I get no respect guy. Right. All of his jokes are kind of, he's a sad sack, he's ugly, his wife doesn't love him, his boss hates him. So all of his jokes are kind of written with that in mind. But he never came off as like a woe is me guy.
No.
It's all, I don't know, there's something about him. He's so charming. If you ever watch old Tonight shows with Johnny Carson, he's so fantastic because he's doing panel, but he's running his jokes for Johnny. But it doesn't feel like he's like, get me into the next thing. It just feels so natural because that's how good Johnny was too. That's the other part of it.
Did you ever see the movie he was in called, was it?
Back to School?
Yeah, Back to School.
Back to School is great. Yeah, he did a couple. Of course, Caddyshack's the most famous.
Yeah.
But Back to School's great. And that's kind of what happened was he got famous as a stand-up. He's probably close to 50 then. And they're like, we'll make you a movie star. And he's just not, he just doesn't fit the role.
It's like he knew he didn't. And it made it funnier.
Yeah, so he played these fish out of water characters.
I think you should tell a Rodney Dangerfield joke and then I should tell one. We'll
go dueling? Okay, sure. I'm not going to tell in his voice because I can tell you what, I can no respect. Here's a couple. my wife and I were happy for 20 years. Then we met.
I got one.
Okay.
My wife has to be the worst cook. In my house, we pray after we eat.
Yeah, that's a great one.
Yeah.
I told my psychiatrist that everyone hates me. He said I was being ridiculous. Everyone hasn't even met me yet.
I haven't spoken to my wife in years. I didn't want to interrupt her.
That's good.
Yeah.
I came from a real tough neighborhood, I'll tell you that. I put my hand in some cement and felt another hand.
There's all wife jokes, apparently, for me. Why her cooking is so bad that the flies pitched in to fix the screen door. I leave dental floss in the kitchen and watch the roaches hang themselves.
Oh, wow. That's good. Okay, last one for me. My uncle's dying wish, he wanted me on his lap. He was in the electric chair.
One night she told me to put out the garbage. I told her, you cooked it, you take it out.
Boom.
Well, he really didn't like his wife.
He did not like his wife, y'all. Anyway, Rodney Dangerfield, one of the greats. It's interesting because you never really hear people put him in there like Mount Rushmore, but he's got to be a top 10 guy as far as there's no comedians that did not like Rodney. And here's another thing about Rodney in the 80s and 90s is he would do the Young Comedian special on Showtime and HBO, and he would break new comedians. So so many of people's favorite comedians, they were young comedians on this guy who had got established late in life, and he would pay it forward. So he was trying to break new guys out. Sam Kinison, Ron Williams, some of these guys were on Rodney's shows.
Wow.
So anyway, great dude. Rodney, one of the greats. Leon, let's move forward. Let's close the show with This Week in History. We call it Talk About Then. John, this week, 1904, according to some accounts, the ice cream cone is invented by Charles E. Mencius of St. Louis, Missouri, when he came up with the idea of filling a pastry cone with 2 scoops of ice cream.
I thought it was a waffle.
Note, here's a side note. Others have also made claim to the invention of the ice cream cone, including Syrian-Lebanese concessionaire Arnold Fornichot, who was running an ice cream booth at the 1904 St. Louis World's Fair.
Yeah.
When he ran short on paper cups, he then bought waffles from a waffle vendor and rolled them into cones to hold the ice cream. So both of these are St. Louis stories, which is kind of a fascinating thing. But there's conflicting St. Louis people.
I'm telling you, there's a lot of bad blood
St.
there.
Louisians.
St. Louisianites.
That are in a little bit of a bitter blood feud about what the correct history is here. So choose your fighter, and it's either going to be Mencius or Fornichot.
Well, that's a brain freeze from which you do not recover.
It's not.
I'll tell you.
And but I will say this: I'm a fan.
Oh, huge
of the invention.
Well, ice cream. I'm one of those people that
no matter how you take
ice cream equals dessert.
Yeah.
Like Laura, if we let's have dessert, she doesn't pick ice cream
right
as her number one. But me and Sadie are normal people.
Well, even if you get a brownie, you go, does it have a scoop of ice cream on it?
Yeah.
You go, it better have ice cream with this. This carrot cake better have ice cream with it.
I can do double chocolate on chocolate stuff, you know? She'd be like, that's just too rich. I'm like, when would you ever say that in life? Like,
yeah.
I'm sorry, I've become too rich.
Too much, yeah.
Like, this is wonderful.
This hot tub is too luxurious.
Yes. So
get me out of here.
I'm too happy. So I'm like too rich, but throw ice cream on it, it's even better. So
it is.
Thank you, Mr. What's his name?
Whoever, either Charles Mencius or Arnold Fornichot.
Either way, Charles, Arnold,
we hope you made peace with each other before your untimely passing, because there's no way it was a timely passing. They invented ice cream cones, but anyway, I hope they made, because they had to live around each other, evidently. St. Louis.
Wow.
Maybe one was just in town for the St. Louis World's Fair, though, and he kind of... 1904, though. Okay, John, let's keep moving. This one is a funky one. I love it. The first person to survive jumping off the Brooklyn Bridge. This happened this week, 1886. Steve Brody jumped off the Brooklyn Bridge from a height of 135 feet. The same as a 14-story building, landing feet first into the East River. According to one account, a liquor dealer offered to back a saloon for Brody if he made the jump. So he's dared to do this. Wow. I'll give you a... And so I'll seed money for your saloon. He does it, and he used his fame from the jump to open his saloon, and also appeared in vaudeville musicals. The New York Times backed his account. So in other words, this was kind of confirmed. But others doubted his claim. Saying he had an accomplice throw a dummy from the bridge with Brody swimming out from the shore at the same time and kind of timing it.
On.
The term "do a Brody" became a common phrase meaning take a chance or a leap, specifically a suicidal one. So in other words, if you were just going to do something like really risky or dumb, they called it doing a Brody for whatever that time period was in the 1800s.
Wow, he's like the evil Knievel of...
Yeah.
Yeah.
So he's either like a total fake or he did a crazy thing because he wanted to have his own saloon.
Was he injured?
135 feet into the East River.
Yeah.
That's crazy. But yeah, I don't know. We don't have any confirmation, but it's basically like the New York Times backed his story, but then there's other accounts saying like, okay, here's what happened. He threw a dummy out. And but look, if you went to all that trouble though to get a saloon, that should be doing a Brody. Making a dummy to... Yeah,
that's true. It reminds me of that.
To trick a guy.
It reminds me of that SNL.
Oh yeah.
Deep Thoughts from Jack Handy. If
you're ever falling from a high... If you're falling off of a building,
go limp like a dummy. Maybe someone will catch you because, hey, free dummy.
Right. Yeah. Deep Thoughts by Jack Handy. Very inspirational to me. It's one of the reasons I do my little one-liners in my show. Love Deep Thoughts. John, let's keep moving. This week, 1827, the first public swimming pool. 1827. That surprised me.
That's late.
Yeah. A public pool, Boston, Massachusetts, opened. And did you ever go swimming in public pools?
I did.
I remember when I was a kid, they had diving boards at public pools. And that pretty much, my childhood, I think it was the timeline of when those started being a problem and people started suing each other more.
Yeah.
And it was like, you started seeing them disappear. Because I remember seeing like high dives at public pools. And you're like, this is unbelievable. Kids are doing like gainers and double flips. And
because the high dive existed, I remember thinking, I could do this. Like I'm very counterphobic back then, especially. Yeah. Like, oh, high dive. It's up here for a reason.
Right.
And I did it, but you shouldn't have.
No, you land wrong. Don't know what it hurts you. You smack your spleen right on the seal of that water is like concrete.
Yeah.
If you hit
just
wrong.
Ask that guy that jumped off the...
Absolutely. A couple more, John. Civil disobedience. This week, 1846 author Henry David Thoreau was jailed for refusing to pay his poll tax, prompting him to write his essay, Civil Disobedience. Thoreau had refused to pay the tax due to his opposition to the Mexican-American War and slavery, for which he spent a night in jail because of this refusal. Do you know this? Pretty great story. He was freed the next day when someone paid the tax against his wishes. In his essay, he stated that the government, this is very timely, in his essay, he stated the government must end unjust actions in order to have the right to collect taxes. So basically, like, if the government's going to be unjust, you don't get to tax me and do unjust stuff. So that's what the crux of civil disobedience was basically about.
Yeah.
Pretty timely work.
I'm not sure that's why people are quoting civil disobedience as their reason for anything.
Well, obviously, people become champions of either side for all kinds of weird warped
but
reasons.
Whatever you're doing, you believe that believe the government or your other side is unjust.
Yeah. Well, I am actually right though.
In your case, I was shocked to find out.
Completely right.
That you
never been wrong.
Yeah.
And the reason I say it's timely, the last one, maybe you didn't know about this, but 1851, this week, 1851, the window tax was repealed. The window tax of England is repealed, having been first levied in 1696. So this thing went on for over 100 years.
Almost 200.
Some houses of the era would brick up windows in order to avoid the tax. This is one of those things where your perception of what wealth is versus what wealth really is gets in the way of like actual law and like.
So they thought if you have more windows, you have more money. Yeah, it's like the tax on the wealthy.
It was originally levied in lieu of an income tax, which was strongly opposed. So they couldn't levy an income tax and get that going because people saw revealing your income as an intrusion of government into your private affairs. Windows, however, were seen as a sign of wealth. Therefore, the more windows you had, the more you were taxed. The window tax itself was opposed on the grounds that it was a tax on light and air. The Scottish window tax was also abolished at the same time. So they finally got this thing knocked out. But it's like people were just bricking up their windows.
Right. I'll show you.
You just live in a cube.
Darkness.
Yeah. What a wild time.
And let me tell you something. Back then, you wanted airflow.
Yeah.
For many, many reasons.
Yeah.
Both health and comfort.
You're not bathing maybe. There's all kinds of weird diseases going around.
I'm telling you, man, the stuff I'm studying right now in the mid-1800s, which is crazy because, I mean, they're writing so I mean, they're smarter than we are in terms of their ability to articulate the issues of their day. You read like a Confederate private's letter home is so much more articulate than what people are writing in books today often. And this was a person probably with a high school education.
Yeah.
But then you find out, like this one guy I was following who became one of the richest guys in Nashville in the South. He's related to the person I'm doing the biography about. And no one knows that ever happened with him. And then at age 50, he dies of typhoid. I mean, like, you know, airflow, clean water, those things are really, really important. I mean, the man's wife died of yellow fever, and he lost 2 kids in infancy. And by the way, yesterday, it was a little dark, but
you're dragging me down over here.
Yesterday on Lectio 365 app, it was a feast day for I've lost her first name, Wesley. Susanna, maybe Wesley. And she's the mother of modern Methodism, or mother of Methodism.
The mother of modern Methodism.
So she's Charles and John Wesley's mom.
Okay.
19 children.
Holy moly.
19 children. 9 of them died in infancy.
Wow.
She had 10 children, and her husband was a deadbeat pastor.
Yeah.
He was in jail all the time for his debts and mismanagement of money and stuff. So interesting. But then she raised John and Charles Wesley. So
Sheesh.
At any rate, yes, don't board up your windows.
Yeah,
especially back then.
Don't brick in your windows, guys, just to save a little money.
Yeah. The tax is gone. You don't have to do it
And
anymore.
John says this knowing that if there was a window tax on his mansion, John, would you even be able to pay it?
It's
so many windows.
Called it a mansion.
So many windows. That's what Brian Regan has a great bit about that, about like the word mansion is always used about somebody else's house. No one ever calls their own house a mansion.
Right.
Yeah, it's been fun hanging out with you guys. What do you say we all head back to my mansion? It's way up on that hill. I can see all your little homes from up there.
Yeah, that's great. Yeah. You know, to somebody, your house might be a mansion.
Come on.
You know?
Won't
it will.
That.
It did. It will.
It did. That's part of it's the crux of your sermon this weekend.
Yeah, last week was about Johnny's sin.
Yeah, this one, John's mansion.
Yeah, John's mansion. Seems like a good.
He's preparing a place for himself.
That's right.
And bricking in the windows.
That's right. If it wasn't so, I would have told you so.
Yeah.
Anyway,
that's fun.
Hey, Johnny, where would they find out more about other episodes of the podcast?
Talkaboutthatpodcast.com. 350, 360 plus.
I think 368.
We're nearing 400. Should we do something special?
Nah. We keep saying it. We say it 1, 2, and 3.
I think
it's
we're
not
ready.
Happen.
We have so many listeners now that I think we could do a live.
Okay.
We could do it here. Could we do it here at the...
Could we do it at Zany's?
Maybe. Do you think that would... Yeah, we could do it at the lab, maybe.
Yeah, smaller room.
Yeah, 100 seats.
What do you think?
Get 100 people to come out.
You think they can hear us right now? Anyway.
Hey.
That'd be fun.
Send us a note if you say, I will, no matter what day you set, I will be there. Because that's the thing you say, oh, when are you coming to my town? You go, I'm in your driveway right now. Right. They go, I'm busy, I can't.
God, I'm sick of it.
I don't want to hear your excuses.
I can't believe you
Send a
people.
note to hello@talkaboutthatpodcast.com. Subject line, live podcast. I will be there. And then we'll count those up. And then and only then.
You sound like Michael Scott doing the... I can just see the papers are coming.
The headline.
And it's the headline. He does.
Small newspaper still cares.
Some people still know how to do business.
Yeah. Anyway.
It's a long subject line.
Send a note and let us know if you're interested. But I think a live podcast could be fun.
I think it'd be a lot of fun. I don't know. We just have to do what we do here.
But if like 2 people show,
That'd still be a lot of fun. 2 people only show here every week.
That's true.
That's me and you. Yeah. So.
All right.
Maybe we need a studio audience. Yeah. And we have a couch in here where we could auction off
these 3 spaces.
3 tickets.
Weird.
We just come sit in here while it's all happening.
I like it.
The magic.
Monetize this thing. Let's go.
That's right. Guys, thanks for all the time you gave us. Do check out JonnieW.com, by the way, JonnieW.com the number of dates is actually staggering that are going on to his
Too
calendar.
many, some would
I didn't think he'd be able to do this.
No.
And here he is.
We're out here.
I've been out there telling people you shouldn't bring him, and they still do.
Huh.
So
that's weird.
It's been
counterproductive.
Odd, turn of affairs. But no, he's doing great. You should go check it out. It's a great show. And we hope that you enjoyed this show, and it was great for you. And we're going to do it again next week here on
Talk About That.